This profession that Jesus is the Christ, Son of the living God, is what we now refer to as the faith, and it's the belief that all Christians should have. But in the Bible, it was understood that believers were to keep the faith, there's an action, contend for the faith, there's an action, live by faith, that's another action, and in doing so, inextricably bound revelation to profession and profession to action. If you profess a faith, this comes from revelation, and if you profess that faith, there has to be action to actually make it a legitimate profession. So confess with your mouth and believe in your heart. Roman wrote, I should see something that corresponds to make it faith, otherwise it's just a notion. It's something that you are pondering in your mind, something that you're mulling over in your heart, something that you're still trying to convince yourself of, and you know it's really right, but you haven't committed to it yet, so it's not faith. Faith requires commitment. Peter's revelation was predicated upon obedience to the call of Jesus to walk in discipleship with Christ. He left all to follow Christ and establish his hopes and dreams for the future upon the rock of this revelation that he got from God. His mind was, anybody here, some of you, the first time God speaks to you and tells you something, not you heard it from the preacher, it is a mind-blowing, wait, I heard from God, and it shows itself to be true. You hear something, you think it's God, it might be God, and it turns out it's actually true, and it actually works. He tells you to do something, and you say, oh, well, I got nothing better to do, let me do a try. It is world-changing. God actually speaks to people, not just like Bible tells me so, but God can open up and speak into the minds and the hearts of people and actually be real, and he showed me something that I couldn't have figured out on my own. That is huge. It's something that can change the way you see the entire world. And then Jesus was arrested. Jesus was betrayed. So I got this revelation that says Christ is the Son of the living God. Came from God. God spoke to me. God's not speaking to anybody else. And I'm a fisher. I got no reason to know this, no reason to believe any of this. You know, I got no frame of reference. This wasn't logic. This wasn't deduction. My mind was open up. Oh, gee, God can speak to me? And then the very person that God spoke to you about ends up being betrayed and arrested. The betrayal and arrest of this man to whom Peter had been faithful, about whom Peter had received revelation, and through whom he had hoped for abundant life, was a tremendous challenge to that faith. Because if he's Christ, the Son of the living God, he's about to get turned over, he had just got turned over to the Romans, he's about to get struck. I don't understand how God works that way. That doesn't fit how do you hang up the Son? It just does not work. It appeared as though Peter's faith may have been misplaced. If I'm in that moment and I see Jesus carried off in chains, and I've invested my whole life in him, I've left everything, I've left my profession, I've left family, I've left friends, and started to walk with him, and I've seen him do some absolutely amazing stuff, but now maybe, did I mishear God? Did I misunderstand? Was it gas? What happened? Because now what I have seen doesn't match what God spoke to me, what I invested my life in. Peter was serious about his hope because everything that he was looking at for his future was tied up in this revelation he got from God and the faithfulness that he had been walking in with that revelation. Mm-hmm. It looked like in the moment after Jesus just checked him that Peter was more invested in the kingdom than Jesus. Despite the fact that Jesus had warned his disciples that this was going to happen, the dissonance of this perceived abandonment and betrayal, it looked like Jesus just betrayed Peter. I just tried to take up for the kingdom. You put me in my place and just got you. I've left everything to follow you. It looked like, it felt like abandonment, betrayal, gave justifiable cause for Peter to question everything he had ever held true about his teacher. And that is a very uncomfortable place to be. Yes, when you find yourself in a place where you don't know if anything that you've experienced in life was actually real or not, or any core belief and principle that you held about the way the world was supposed to work, when that gets rocked and shook, it's a very hard place to be.